Okay, for the week 1 lab that you're going to be doing, first you want to go into the required assignments and the manual, and then click on this. That's going to download a PDF version of the lab manual, which is going to walk you through the entire lab, really help you out. Make sure you do this and don't just download the thing you're going to fill out, which we're going to go over to in a second, because this is the lab manual. It just really walks you through. It's really just very approachable. Okay, let me pause it and pull up the actual assignment. Okay, so this one's just a little weird. So you're going to click on this now. So the last one gives you the PDF version of the lab manual. This is going to give you what you fill in and you type out. I mean, I am so old school, I would probably print it out and handwrite it in it as I did the lab, but you know, you can do it however it works for you. It makes more sense to actually just type in as you do the labs. It's just, I'm old school. And then you'll get this thing completed. You're not going to do anything weird to it. Just submit it as it is, a Word document, once it's completed. Okay, down here, this is a post called Rubrics and More. So normally your rubrics are going to be to the right of the assignment, but this one happened to be locked because the UOP has it the way they want it to be. So what I've done is down here, attach the rubric, just a APA sample writing style guide, and then of course the video playlist that hopefully you're looking at now, assuming I did this all correct. Okay, also, because it's a lab, you can earn an S post by sharing all your data tables in this assignment. Okay, so you just post them where everybody can see them. I know it's scary, you don't want to share your information, but this way we can see, everyone can see if they're on the right track, you know what's going on. It really helps to make it feel like we're all in a lab together and you're not just doing this thing and being terrified that you're doing it wrong by yourself. I find it's much better. Okay, I'm going to go look at the rubric. It's pretty basic, but at least it'll give you an idea. So let me open it. Okay, so for this lab, as you can see, here's my little handy rubric in a table style. I usually, when I grade your paper, you'll see it will be embedded on the side of your lab because I don't like actually filling out these tables, but this is the clearest way to see what's going on. So for exercise 1, 2, and 3, they're all worth the same amount of points. It's out of a total of 8 points. You're going to have each step on the table in the table 1 is worth 0.25 points. And let me pause this for 1 second and just check something. Part of why we record is to remind Heather if she fills things in right. Okay, so each step is going to be worth a 1/4 point on the table because that table is pretty intensive, so I'm giving you a little extra points. And then each question is worth a 1/4 point. Then in exercise 2 is going to be 0.3 for each table and 0.25 for each question answer. And then in question 3, each answer in either section is 0.25. And then we're going to have a 1/4 point for complete sentences and a 1/4 point for correct APA citations. Because of the method of this lab, and just in general, Heather likes references, but especially in this one, you're going to be analyzing some stuff at the end where you have to have an outside resource. So if you don't have any references, you will get a 0. Have a reference. When in doubt, cite the lab if you need to, but always have a reference. You'll just make me happier. If you always have 3 references, you will make my day. Okay, and then I just copied and pasted the lab assistant here in case someone didn't get it. And you'll see, like I said, that first table, each of these steps is going to be like you just fill in whatever you saw happen. The lab report manual will walk you through what kind of like here, like what did you see, what's your question, what's your hypothesis, make sure it's testable, what did you see while you did an experiment, and what conclusions. Was your hypothesis supported or rejected? Right? And then you're going to answer each of these suckers too, and you'll talk about, was it supported or rejected? Would you consider it a failure if it's not supported? What gas did you see? What did you have, quantitative or qualitative? Describe your conclusions. Okay, so then we're going to do your global warming. So kind of what is global warming, what your sources are, an example why you have to have a reference. What's your independent variable? What's your dependent variable? What's your control? What's your hypothesis again? Make sure it's testable. And then you're going to look at the different things, take your notes. And then here, what was your change in temperature in the first version model, the second model? And you will stick a graph. If you cannot use the graphing like program, like Excel, feel free for these kind of things to draw it out on paper, take a picture of it, stick your picture in here, okay? That's totally acceptable. Just give me a graph. And then conclusions, was your hypothesis supported or rejected? Then we're going to compare the models and describe the role of plastic wrap, which they talk about in the lab manual too, so that will help out. Third model was created by adding, what happens, relate your findings to global warming. This is where you might also need some of those outside steps. List each step of the scientific method, describe how the experimental, where's my brain going, procedures apply. So I might do like, here's questioning, here's what we did in the experiment, here's the hypothesis, here's what we did, blah, 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 right? I'd be very tempted to basically copy and paste from the first exercise. So then in 3, you're going to do your own experiment. So you're going to, what's your research, your background research, so what sources did you use? Again, why you have to have references. What question did you ask? What was the design? I would fill in this little part plus take a picture. What's your independent variable, dependent, control, hypothesis, conclusion? They give you an example experiment in the lab manual that will really help you out. Don't use that exact one, but if you want to tweak it, that's fine. Or just kind of go on the same basis. As always, experiments are easier if you have no living animals in them or plants. And then we're going to list all the possible flaws and describe how they could be corrected, and use the findings from your research to develop a new question for further research. So seems kind of straightforward. The biggest thing is when you're doing a lab, you're going to be freaked out. Probably the most for me personally would be like the first and second exercises where you have to do stuff. I always feel like I'm doing something wrong. That's why you get a free S points for sharing your data tables. It really just makes life better. If you have questions, feel free to discuss in that area too. You can only earn 1 S post, but it is a great place just to get to talk to each other. Also in your team, you might have conversations, or if you're having a problem, feel free to private message me. Okay, let's just remember we're all in this together. And I hope this helped. That is week 1 lab.